Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. So for the past year I've been using XL cordless 18V power tools, and I've had quite a few questions in the comments, people asking me how they are, if they're any good or not. So I thought about doing a video just briefly talking over all of the different power tools that I have from XL, all of the cordless ones. And I also have, most of these have reviews that I've done individually, so I'll leave links in the description box to those videos, full tests and reviews if you're interested in those. So if you're looking to get some budget cordless tools, or you're just not sure about which range to go with, and you're considering this brand, then this video is for you. So why did I choose this brand of power tools? As I say, I've been using them for over a year now, and I've had no problems with them. I was attracted to these tools because the range is okay. It's not the best range, but they're, in my opinion, very cheap, very affordable, and they offer a decent amount of features too. Before we get into the video, just to be completely transparent, I bought all of these tools with my own money, apart from the sander here. Tools for Trade sent me this sander for review, so that one was gifted to me in exchange for a review, but all the other ones I paid for with my own money. And if you're interested in buying any of these tools, I'll leave my Amazon associate link to all of these tools down in the description box. So starting off with the Combi Drill, this has the features of 2 speeds, number 1 and number 2, adjustable on the top here, and it also has, it's got a screwdriver mode, a drill mode and a hammer mode. So you can drill into walls with this, and it's brushless, which makes it quite energy efficient and probably more reliable. You don't need to worry about changing brushes on this one. So it's also got a full metal chuck, I believe it's 13mm, and it's got this little ring here, so if you're up against something tight, it won't rub on the end of the drill, it will just spin. Or if you want to guide the drill sort of carefully with one finger, you can hold it there. The tension on the clutch when you're locking a bit down is very good. As you can see, you can get a really good tight crank down on the bit. I've never had a bit slip with this. It's got a work light, nice small compact form factor, pretty good little lightweight, useful, powerful little combi drill. So now moving on to the impact driver. As you can see, it's very compact at the top, nice and small and compact, which is great for getting into tight spaces. This again is a brushless tool. It says brushless on the back here, meaning that it's more energy efficient, a bit more powerful in general, and you don't have to worry about changing the brushes. It's got the quick release sort of chuck at the front there for the hex bits. And this one actually has adjustable speed modes here, 1, 2 and 3. I tend to leave it on number 1, that allows me to do more delicate work and not have to worry about splitting wood. But when I was building a shed in the summer, I did crank it up to number 3 for the extra power, because it was just faster. So nice, comfortable little impact driver with plenty of power. And again, nothing really bad to say about it. I don't use the belt clips. I've taken them off because I just don't use them, but they do come with belt clips. This also has a work light. Nice tidy little impact driver. So now moving on to this random orbit sander or rotary sander. Can't quite remember which one it is, but it's very comfortable to use. I was pleasantly surprised. As you can see, it's got a rubberized grip here. As far as a cordless sander goes, it's pretty good. It does eat through batteries, so it's better off putting the 4 amp hour or the 5 amp hour battery on here, the larger battery, but it does just fine with this. You get maybe 15-20 minutes or so out of this. I'm just guessing, I haven't checked that, but haven't had a problem with the battery. Previous cordless sanders that I've bought, I have had a problem with the battery running out too quick, but not with this one. And this one is quite quiet as well. You can adjust the modes. There's 3 different speed modes on here that you can adjust. It's fairly quiet for a sander, which I like. And it's relatively lightweight, and it's got the dust collection bag, and surprisingly the dust collection bag works really well. It collects most of the dust, which again is surprising, and it works by, it sort of pushes it round this rim inside here and then pushes it up the little tube. So I found this to be a very good tool, very useful. So now moving on to the trim router or palm router. I use this tool quite a lot. Again, it does kind of eat through batteries. It's probably better to put the larger battery on. I've found you seem to get a little bit more power with the larger battery, and it lasts quite a bit longer. Very good little palm router. It does have accessories that came with it too. It's got like a rack and pinion style system here, which I like, that you can adjust the depth of the bit with. That works well, and it has various speed modes that you can turn up and down on this knob here. Again, not a lot to say about this really. It's a decent little tool. I did have a problem in the winter time trying to use it in very cold conditions. It didn't seem to want to work. The battery light would flash, but I think that's some sort of, I don't know, a feature whereby, you know, if the temperatures are too cold, the tool doesn't really want to work. This one didn't perform well in very cold temperatures. I was trying to use it in like 5 degrees or less. It was very cold, but apart from that, it's been absolutely fine. All through the summer I've been using it. Nice little tool. Now on to the circular saw. This has a 165mm blade, quite a small, compact circular saw. As you can see, it's nice and lightweight and compact. I like the way that the motor is on the right side, so if you're left-handed you can look and see where you're cutting. I do think I prefer that, but most saws aren't like that. Most saws have the motor on the other side. Anyway, build quality, it's not fantastic. The plasticky parts are a bit creaky and a bit cheap feeling, but the base is quite good. And again, it doesn't have a metal blade guard, but then again, most of them don't, unless they're very expensive. But the plate here is quite nice. It's aluminium, cast aluminium, nice and smooth. It's easy to change the blade. Very lightweight, useful tool. It's got depth adjustment, angle adjustment. I use this for a few different projects, mostly cutting like rough sawn wood. I use this to help me build a shed, cut lots of wood with it, pallet wood, sheet materials for the roof, and it's pretty good. Power wise, it's okay. It's not super powerful, but it can cut through most materials just fine, and I'm still using the stock blade, as you can see. So now on to the jigsaw. It's quite a big chunky jigsaw, as you can see, quite heavy. I think that's a good thing with a jigsaw though. Not a bad jigsaw. I've had better jigsaws. This isn't the best one I've used to date, but it gets the job done. It does what it says on the tin. It's pretty good. It's got pendulum action. You can adjust here the different angles. Quick release blade. When I first bought it, it was quite difficult to get the blade in. It was quite tight, but with some use that loosened up. It has a work light on it as well. Rubberized grip. Well, pretty simple tool really. You can adjust the angle of the table. It has like a quick release lever here, a pretty decent jigsaw. Now on to the work light or torch spotlight. This was actually the first XL cordless tool I bought, and again I was pleasantly surprised with this. Very powerful light, spot beam, as you can see. Probably not the best to use when you're working because it's almost too bright and it's all concentrated sort of in the centre, but I found it very good for going on walks at night. You can really illuminate everything with this. Very powerful beam, battery lasts ages, no problem there, and you can adjust the angle of the head. So let's say you're doing the kitchen sink, you're underneath the kitchen sink, you can just place this, point it up towards where you're working. It does provide decent amount of light. The light's a bit sort of blue and stark, but the whole point of it is to light up areas, and it definitely does that. Very nice, powerful torch. Again, the build quality is not fantastic, but it hasn't broke, and it's all good so far. So now moving on to the gardening tools. This is the Hedge Trimmer, and again I've had no problems with this. I've cut my hedge multiple times with it. I've cut a friend's hedge, and I've also cut one of my parents' neighbours' hedges with it, and it does the job just fine. The guard on here works quite well. It's quite lightweight, compact and small. Battery life is very good on it. And again, there's not much to say really. I kept the cover on mine just to keep the blade safe, and every time I use it I give it a spray with some WD-40 to make sure it doesn't get rusty, and it's mobile, but very simple tool really, and works very well. The technology's come a long way from the old corded hedge trimmers and the early battery powered ones. You know, these ones do last a long time. It says on here 93 decibels for the sound. Sounds okay to me. I haven't noticed that it's too loud. The trigger on it works well. I had a Bosch one before this, and if I had to choose between the two, I'd pick this one over the Bosch one because the handle feels more robust. The Bosch handle felt a bit flimsy. But yeah, cheap tool and does a good job. Now on to the strimmer. The strimmer, it's got a generous size head on it. I can't remember the exact size, but it's quite big. Again, the build quality isn't fantastic. It is a cheap hedge trimmer, grass trimmer, but it gets the job done. It'd be nice if this was better made at the bottom here, because it is wearing. I've used all the original string, so I've added my own string here. It does a good job. It's got a flower guard there. You can tilt the angle of the head, and then it's got an adjustable pole for height. Seems okay. It would be nice if it could extend a little bit more for taller people, because even on the maximum extension I would like it to be a little bit longer, and I'm not super tall, so. But then again, I've found that problem with all of the strimmers I've owned. They're all a little bit on the short side. I don't know why they make them like that. This handle here is plasticky, as you can see. You know, it's all made of plastic and it's not super robust. You don't want to be throwing these around in a van. Got to be careful with them, but they do a job. I've trimmed my grass with this multiple times this year, and I've also helped a friend do his edges, and I helped one of my parents' neighbours trim their grass and edges with it, and it's still working, it's still doing good. Now on to the leaf blower. So not a tool that I really need, probably not a tool that most people need, especially in the UK. As soon as the leaves come down, it's wet and they don't really dry out, so you can't really blow them around effectively. But there's lots of other uses for these. I use it to blow all the sawdust off my tools after I've used them. It's quite easy to just blast all the sawdust off the bigger tools like the table saw and the miter saw. And it's good for blasting out gutters, getting the leaves out. Quite powerful. It's got two settings. It's got like a standard blast mode, and then it's got like a turbo mode on it. Very simple kind of tool. It's just like a tube that blasts air out. Feels quite well made as well. Again, I've got nothing bad to say about this. It says it's 94 decibels. It is quite loud when you're using it, but it's not uncomfortable, and it does a good job. I was quite surprised, and I got this really cheap. And finally, I'd just like to quickly talk about the batteries and the chargers. I've got the 2 amp hour batteries and the 5 amp hour batteries. So I find the 2 amp hour to be good with things like the impact driver, the drill. But I find the 5 amp hour batteries to be better with the sort of more demanding tools like the circular saw, the strimmer, but they do all work just fine. Charge time wise, I haven't checked the exact times, but they charge relatively quickly. You can get a fast charger, but I don't have that one. I use this dual charger. So this is not a rapid charger. It doesn't have a fan in it. There is one that you can get with a fan in it. This is just a dual charger, and it's got USB ports at the front, which I've never used. I thought I might, but I never did. It does a good job of charging up the batteries. So if you want to charge 2 at the same time, which is quite useful. You can also get the single charger, which is here. They're kind of fast chargers, but they're not rapid fast chargers. The sort of modern ones with the fans inside them to keep them cool, because they're charging so fast. They're even faster, but these are fast enough. These are fine, in my opinion. So batteries are good. Chargers are okay too. Haven't had a problem. The batteries have like a rubberized grip on them, which is quite good. When you put them on a surface like the drill and the driver, it grips. I don't know how well that would last on sort of a building site situation. That's one of the downsides with these tools, is that the rubber grips aren't the best rubber. So all of the rubber on the handles and on the batteries is a bit, I'd say it's easy to wear out. I haven't worn it out personally, but there is a bit of wear, such as you can see on the drill handle. There's a bit of wear, and on the back here, not much, but they don't have the best like robust quality rubber on them. But yeah, the batteries and chargers are good. Okay, so that is about it for this video then. So I've used these tools now for just over a year or so, and I haven't had any problems with any of them. None of them have broken, and I found them all enjoyable to use. I think they're decent tools, especially when you consider the price. I think they're excellent value for money. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please remember to like and also consider subscribing for more DIY related videos. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.